Okay, so it's kind of dry, or actually it is dry. It's pretty dry to the touch. And it's pretty milky white, like you can see the pine and a little bit of the old stain through the white paint, and that's how I want it. So I'm going to take my wax, or my stain, which is Minwax Classic Gray. I washed out my brush. I'm pretty hard on my brushes, but I wash them out pretty quick after I'm done painting with them. The quicker the better, just to get all the, just to get everything out. And it's still wet, but that's okay. So I'm going to open my can of stain. Like I said, make sure that you shake it really well and you get all the color mixed. Because if not, all the color will be on the bottom. Alright, so it looks pretty good. So I'm going to start on the bottom and on the sides and do the top last. So I don't dip my brush all the way in, and you're not supposed to, only about the upper third of your bristles. Because if you dip it all the way in, the stain gets under this metal ridge, and when you pull it out and turn it over to paint, it drips everywhere, which I've done a few times. So I'm just going to brush it on. And I'm not going to go all the way back. And I kind of work quick with stain. Well, I have 3 kids. And I'm usually in a hurry, no matter what I'm doing. Before the baby wakes up, or I have to pick one up, or do this or do that. So I'm doing the bottom right here. And I'm not wearing gloves, and I should be, but I don't, again, because I'm always in a hurry, and I just don't. Okay, so here's the top. So this is going to be really dark at first, but you just kind of keep going until you like it, which is what I have found. Let's see. It's the best technique. Okay, so I'm done. Now I'm going to go back over it with a rag. I'm going to start at the area where I first painted, which is on the side. Get this out of the way. So I'm just going to rub it. And just really rub hard to get it in to the wood. And it's already sort of like a gray wash Swedish finish. And the more you rub, probably the more will come off. And make sure you rub off in the direction of the grain. Because if you don't, it just looks a mess. So Swedish finish is, I don't know, I had the hardest time trying to figure out what Swedish finish was and how to do it. It took me forever. So I just kind of came up with this own technique. I know a guy that does woodworking, and I asked him, I showed him a picture and I asked him how he would do it, and this is what he said. So that's kind of how I came up with this. And when you do a lot of like painting techniques, if other than just a straight color, it's more like a just trial and error, just to see what you like and what works for you. So this is the front. Can you see that? It looks really pretty already. I think it looks really pretty. rag is a little bit wet because this is the rag that I used earlier to dry or to get the sand off the sawdust. Yours should be dry. Mine's wet. But it'll look good still. Okay, so this looks really nice this way. But it would go great in a white living room. But my living room is not white. My couch is brown and I have a lot of brown woods, and so once I got the coffee table that looked like this into my living room, it just didn't go. And it wasn't a piece that I wanted to sell, it was a piece that I wanted to keep. So I got some Annie Sloan dark wax and I rubbed that in. Annie Sloan dark wax. You could probably use any dark soft wax for furniture. This is just what I had, so this is what I used. This is actually kind of expensive. So once this is out, I'll probably buy something else, just at Home Depot or something. So I'm going to wait for this stain to dry, and then I'm going to come back with my wax. I'm going to rub it on with a cloth, not this cloth because this is wet now and it has stain on it. A clean cloth. And then what I'll do is I get a fine sandpaper, and I will put my wax on, rub it off, and then I'll sand until I just like the way that it looks. So let's wait for this to dry, and I'll be back.